Mentally, we highlight focus, resilience, and consistency. Data supports all of this by providing objective insights, but it's used strategically alongside coaching and observation. He added, "We teach the players that pressure is a privilege. Playing regularly against top opposition is part of their development, and they must embrace it. There will be highs and lows, and learning to handle both is essential. We have a dedicated psychology team, providing tailored support to each player. As coaches, we also mentor them and guide them through challenges, ensuring every player has the support they need to thrive." McFarland will hope to record a major victory this weekend. The Blues have gone 11 games without a win over City, and the last time they beat the Etihad club was in the Champions League final. Their last meeting was a 3-1 defeat, and they have not drawn since February 2024. Their last 3 defeats to City were by an aggregate score of 6-1. Enzo Maresca's shock departure at Chelsea came, and he informed the club that he had held talks with figures associated to Manchester City over replacing Pep Guardiola. Chelsea have been weighed down by uncertainty ever since cracks in Maresca's relationship with the board became apparent last month, but there is a feeling at Stamford Bridge that the Italian was looking to engineer an exit before a parting of the ways was confirmed on Thursday morning, on New Year's Day. There was deep dissatisfaction with Maresca's decisions during games, but the bigger issue was his conduct away from the pitch. The situation has been volatile ever since he made cryptic comments about experiencing his worst 48 hours at the club after the win over Everton on the 13th of December. Mystery surrounded those remarks, but there is now the added context that Maresca told his bosses twice in late October, then in the days after the Everton game, that he had discussed succeeding Guardiola should the Spaniard depart City at the end of the season. Maresca was Guardiola's assistant at the Etihad in the 2022-2023 season. Sources have said that Maresca, who has agreed a severance package, attempted to use interest from Juventus and City as leverage for a new deal. His contract was due to expire in June 2029. Chelsea were unimpressed with the request and did not start talks. It is understood that Maresca, who has been in charge for 18 months, said his goodbyes to staff and players on Thursday morning. Chelsea, who are 5th in the Premier League after 1 win in 7 games, visit City on Sunday. Liam Rosenior, the Strasbourg manager, is a leading contender to replace Maresca. Strasbourg are Chelsea's partner club. Chelsea Football Club and head coach Enzo Maresca have parted company, read a statement. During his time at the club, Enzo led the team to success in the UEFA Conference League and the FIFA Club World Cup. Those achievements will remain an important part of the club's recent history, and we thank him for his contributions to the club. With key objectives still to play for across the competitions, including qualification for Champions League football, Enzo and the club believe a change gives the team the best chance of getting the season back on track. We wish Enzo well for the future. Maresca's demise comes after an uncertain few weeks and him being booed by the home support after the 2-2 draw with Bournemouth at Stamford Bridge on Tuesday. The club were also baffled by him saying that many people had not supported him before the Everton game. Those remarks are viewed as the first of several self-inflicted wounds and offered a window into Maresca's dissatisfaction with elements of the Chelsea project. It did not help that Maresca refused to explain the reason behind his discontent, but sources with knowledge of the situation have said that the clash came down to him pushing the club to give him more room to ignore the medical department's advice on protecting certain players. Chelsea have guarded against injuries by implementing a strict rotation policy, and it is said that the head coach was informed by the sporting leadership team that he would not be allowed to overrule the medical department on return to play protocols. The aim is to protect players such as Reece James, Pedro Neto and Wesley Fofana, all of whom have struggled with injuries in the past. Cole Palmer has struggled with a persistent groin injury this season, and is currently unable to play 3 full games a week. Maresca's mood has not been helped by receiving external criticism when rotation has led to disappointing results. He rotated heavily during the shock defeat by Leeds last month, and made substitutions with load management in mind when Chelsea lost to Atalanta in the Champions League a week later. The defeat by Atalanta came 4 days before Maresca's worst 48 hours remarks. Chelsea, though, feel there have been times when Maresca has ignored the data provided by the medical department. It was not viewed well when James, who has a long history of knee and hamstring problems, played 3 full games in the space of a week last month. The captain had not managed that since 2023. Chelsea were equally unimpressed when Maresca was touted as a potential replacement for Guardiola. There have been suggestions that Maresca wanted more power, but Chelsea are not willing to alter a structure in which they have built an extensive recruitment team and focused on signing some of the best young talent in the game. Maresca's request for a new centre-back when he lost Levi Colwill to injury before the start of the season went unanswered. There is a feeling that Maresca's behaviour has affected the team's form. Chelsea have dropped 15 points from winning positions in the league this season, 13 of them at home. Further tension was created by Maresca, saying he felt too unwell to do his press conference after the Bournemouth game. Club insiders were left surprised when Maresca's assistant, Willy Caballero, spoke to the media. Caballero said the manager had been under the weather for 2 days, but there were claims on Wednesday night that Maresca had actually made it clear that he did not want to conduct his usual press duties. It was said he was considering his options after growing dissatisfied with elements of the Chelsea project. Chelsea's preference had been to review Maresca's position at the end of the season. Their patience ran out on Wednesday night, though, and they are looking for their 5th permanent head coach since being bought by Todd Boehly and Clearlake Capital in May 2022. A handful of candidates are in the frame, including the Porto manager, Francesco Ferrioli, and Chelsea are hopeful of making an appointment in the next few days. They may need an interim, however, to take charge at the Etihad Stadium. A move for Rosinia will also depend on the quality of replacement Strasbourg can find for the 41-year-old. Eric Ramsey, the manager of Minnesota United, is under consideration